Yeah.
Look, we're live.
And we're live.
What's
Welcome
up,
to the Cohost. To Taf as your host.
We're live.
I'm not a fucking jerf.
Yes, you are.
Oh boy.
Yeah, surfer and turf is good.
And just
So hold on. So should we rename the stream now? Twerk and Turf.
Yeah, remember, Scotty said, "Hey, for like $5, go for like $5. Scotty will twerk for you because he's a homo little whore."
Hi, for everybody out there
Hello.
in the chat. This is especially for you, Cryptic, if you're there yet. Yeah, please like and share.
Hey, you know what? If anybody's getting donations, I need a pack of smokes.
Okay, so listen. I tried to post a GIF on that group chat, and it said it was too explicit, even though it was just this guy shaking his butt. So I had to put it in Scotty's general chat. Is there like a...
Yeah,
that's somebody. It's because
somebody
that's in the group said they didn't want to see that kind of stuff.
Ah, okay.
All right, who's the proof?
No problem. I just didn't know if it was like an oopsie thing. So.
Yeah, it was probably
because
blind girl. She doesn't like looking at stuff like that.
No,
okay.
someone that's in the group. I know who it is.
Oh, I don't care who it is. I don't mind. I just.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, that's yeah.
You know what I mean.
Spell, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
Wow, there are.
Hey, Phantom. Batman and M&M's are up here. Green's up here. Rolling Bear, yo, what's up? There we go. I said hi to the people that aren't in the Hangouts.
Hello, Rolling Bear. Sorry about ending mine early, but yeah, I ended up sitting there for like an hour.
Oh shit! Apparently, this news that I stashed today on Facebook is pissing people off.
Oh really? Which one?
Apparently, I found out today that on Facebook that apparently I posted something that got taken down, and I don't know what the fuck they won't show me.
Oh, by the way,
I don't even know what I said. But...
Maria.
Speaking of which, something we didn't really talk about
mute the
when
stream.
this first came up. Something we didn't really mention when we first talked about it. Scotty and Blind Girl, the trans woman who went to that tribunal thing there up in Canada about human rights abuses.
Mm-hmm.
I know we mentioned that was her first customer, and she didn't feel comfortable touching the men's junk. Turns out she wasn't trained to do it either. She didn't know how to do it. She didn't know how to wax a guy's junk.
It said that in the article.
One woman, it's 12.
Huh?
Yeah, it actually said that in the article.
Trans woman is taking 12 women to the tribunal. They didn't even have the proper wax to do it properly, but she's actually taking 12 of them, not just one.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Wow.
There was something else. She was actually involved with another one. Damn it! I can't remember what it is now.
Well, she.
Jackie. No, Kathy Chu.
Oh fuck! I don't know.
But it did say that this person
Do you remember?
is a professional activist.
Right.
Which one?
Do you remember the girl a couple years ago? She's the one who, God, damn it. There's the girl who. Now I might misremember this, but the girl who was stripped of Miss whatever it was for not trying on the hijab, and ended up getting banned off Twitter for getting in an argument with a trans person. The same activist from this tribunal is the same activist that got her kicked off Twitter.
Yep.
Blind Girl, take it, Team Labs.
It's always the same types of people.
No. This isn't the same type of people. It's the same person.
Yeah. It's always the same types of people, and it's like when you start looking at like who these kind of like professional slacktivists are, you start seeing the same names just popping up over and over and over again because this is all they do.
Here's the thing. I think who we're talking about, they're from Toronto, right? I'm pretty sure it's a Toronto trans bitch.
Yeah.
The the thing is that they picked salons that were women only on purpose. There are salons that do male genitalia that say, look, we're equipped to do male genitalia. And this trans bitch decided, you know what? I'm going to go to the women only one only because I should be treated like a woman and therefore I should be allowed to be serviced here.
Yeah,
so they picked them on purpose because they knew they were going to be able to slap them with a lawsuit.
Yeah, it's like what
the most misogynistic, chauvinistic little creatures on this planet.
Yeah,
kind of like the cake thing.
Yeah, it's like it's like with the Christian bakers, that same Christian baker guy. People seek him out on purpose just so they can try to sue him, and he has won every single time. Like he's had to go through this like at least 3 times by now.
Well, Mr. The baker you're talking about with the baker you're talking about with the cake that is being sued over and over and over again.
Yeah.
There's actually a gay-friendly bakery in the same shopping center.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, but Mr. Poking the Bear, Billy Big Balls says, I, blind girl, am a really big turf. Poking that bear, man. Just poking that bear. Just saying.
Billy Big Balls.
Skittles, check your Streamlabs.
What?
Check your Streamlabs.
What?
Who's Mr. Poke the Bear?
All right. I don't really remember how this goes, but I'll do my best. And by the way, Scotty, this is how you sing when someone gives you money for it. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was raw like me?
Skittles, for this song, I'm gonna need video and nipples.
Kill me.
Die, you bastard.
I haven't got time to give you money now.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was raw like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me?
Good God.
And does Billy Big Balls not even get a thank you for giving me money now?
Thank you, the Batman, for the $6.25.
Why,
that was beautiful.
Mr. Big Balls, give me $2. Although, you know.
Although what?
I can't fucking.
Nothing.
Freaking out. I don't want to laugh. Stop making me laugh. The freaking sandwich is trying to come back. Stupid jalapenos.
Return of the sandwich.
So I know the article that people are pissed off with me now, and of course I wish Math Queen was here because she would be a great reason to this. But the Christians in my family.
She just showed up. Hi, Math Queen.
I need to help you.
It's a queen.
So,
When are the people in your family not pissed off at you, though? That's the question.
so
Okay, well, this article is shocking moments. Catholic priests and nuns are led away by police in zip tie handcuffs. 1 second, reloaded because the Daily Mail sucks. In handcuffs after being arrested during a peaceful protest against Trump's immigration policies on Capitol Hill.
Okay, for starters, considering it's in the newspaper, drop the word peaceful out of that.
Yep.
So just in case.
Shocking video has captured the moment that I can't fucking read this because it keeps reloading to other shit. Oh my God. All right, who wants to read this shit for me?
No, I guess I'll do it.
All right, I will send it to you on Discord. Being a bitch, every time I use my screen reader and I swipe right, it just goes to another news article instead of reading to me what I want it to read. So yeah, it's a bitch. But my response was stop breaking the law and you won't get arrested. And people are like, they weren't breaking the law. It says peaceful protest.
Yeah.
See, and that's exactly the problem. Is
That's
that's
exactly
exactly
why
why
they
they
say it.
put the word peaceful in there, because they knew it was going to have that kind of a response.
Yep.
Correct. They're very.
Is there any video? Is there any like footage of this? Because that'll very clearly show whether it was peaceful or not.
Maybe.
Yeah, there we
I'll-
go.
They were trying to say the
bullshit
they were
on
trying
it
to say
being
the
peaceful.
counter. They were trying to say the Antifa fucks at Charlottesville were the peaceful ones.
I
Right,
feel-
shocking moment.
I feel
Catholic.
like the media has like psychologists like on call to figure out what words to use to make people feel what during their articles.
No,
I
it's,
really
no,
think-
they don't even need that. It's just been decades of trial and error until they have exactly what they figured out exactly the formula they need in order to manipulate people into thinking and doing whatever they want.
Blind girl present me.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, and there is a video, but it's only a video of them being arrested. There's nothing about what they were doing.
Convenient, of course.
Okay.
Blind girl, check your tips. Check your Streamlabs.
Did I check
really
the
thought you said something else.
Yeah, I can finally fucking read. Shocking moment. Catholic priests and nuns are led away by police in zip tie handcuffs after being arrested during a peaceful protest against Trump immigration policies on Capitol Hill. Shocking video captured the moment priests and nuns were led in zip tie handcuffs after being arrested for protesting Trump's administration's detention of migrant children on the U.S. southern border. The clergy members were among 17 Catholic activists who descended on the Russell Senate office building in Washington, D.C. on Thursday for the protests. Activists from more than a dozen Catholic organizations chanted the names of children who have died in detention facilities during Trump's term in office, as they railed against the immoral and inhumane practice of detaining immigrant children.
Oh.
Illegal immigrant
Okay,
children.
I gotta rage about this. Finish the article. Finish the article that I'm gonna rage.
When you finish the article, I want to hear Blind Girls sing.
Yeah,
Several
here's the problem. I actually had to look up this song because I have no idea what it is.
And I do want to say one thing. It's so funny that the Catholics are interested in these children, and that's not to say that all. I mean, I grew up Catholic. Not all Catholics are like pedophiles or whatever, but it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. That was gonna be something I was gonna rage about. Continue on with this article, Scotty.
Yeah, please.
Once you finish, I'm gonna rage.
Yeah,
I'm
not
gonna
on
rage.
top of
Several
the
protesters lay on the floor of the building and building's rotunda in order to make human cross before it was dismantled by officers. 70 of the assembling were subsequently arrested for unlawfully demonstrating in the rotunda of the Russell Senate office building. Local reports a 19-year-old nun was among those arrested. Several recited the Lord's Prayer as they were led away. All were charged with DC Code 221307. Crowding, obstructing, incommoding. A police officer told Roll Call in an email statement. So they're just lying on the fucking floor there, man.
So, wait a second. What DC code? What now?
DC Code 221307.
Patman, check your Discord.
Catholic groups involved in demonstrations included Faith in Action and Mercy and Sisters of Mercy, the Washington Post reports. Several sisters and brothers addressed the assembled crowds before the streets arrest began. We are here today because of our faith. The gospel compels us to act, Sister Anne Spaltz of Washington, D.C. stated. We are outraged at the horrific treatment of families and especially children. The inhumane treatment of children being done under our name. Being done in our name must stop. Meanwhile, Walter List,
Blind Girl, check your
Franciscan
Discord.
brother from New York, told Rocco, I just think that we can do better as a nation. I just don't like what I've seen on TV the other way. The way that people are being treated or scapegoats. So you know how especially people of color from other countries are being blamed for all sorts of problems in society.
Fuck off.
Catholics say stop the inhumanity into.
Are they allowed to like be on the internet and like search for information for themselves?
I don't know.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, meanwhile,
Catholics
Washington Post reporter Marissa J. Lang featured an image of a 19-year-old Chicago nun's sister Pat Murphy who was arrested during the sitting. Sister Pat works with migrants and refugees in Chicago and has been holding a weekly vigil outside ICE there for 13 years. She said treatment of migrants should be treated, should outrage people of all faiths to be treated. Thursday's Catholic demonstration was the second consecutive day that religious groups have protested against Trump's administration migration policies.
Which we should add are actually lighter than the Obama administration's immigration policies.
On Wednesday the 10th, Jewish activists were arrested after seizing a sit-in at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement headquarters in Washington, D.C. Trump must come under intense scrutiny for his response to the crisis on the southern border. Detention facilities in the region are overcrowded and have been criticised for their inhumane standards. This year alone, more than 530,000 people, including upwards of 40,000 unaccompanied children, have been apprehended at the border in 6 months since January.
All right. I'm reading through the
Oh, yeah, that's the end of it.
I'm
Ringo,
reading
you can
through the
sing
code.
it.
Yeah, I'm just. First of all, I'm learning. I gotta listen to the song and I'll sing it. I'm just. Fun's mom just randomly. Fun's mother, adoptive mother, just randomly just sent me an email saying, "Hey, we're going to the Arm Prayer Fair, and I heard your family's in Arm Prayer. Did you want to do a surprise meetup day and see your little girl?" And I went, so I'm just responding to her right now. I'll figure that shit out in a second.
I'm
Wait,
reading-
Maria,
Maria, how do you not know who Cthulhu is?
Yeah.
Cthulhu is an eldritch deity on a different plane of existence. He is a
No, he's
lord
not.
of chaos.
I have no idea who he is. I will look. I'm gonna write him down right now. I'm gonna have to research him. Okay.
So I'm reading through the code that they arrested these nuns and priests on. It is not. They're not arresting them for the protest. They're arresting them because they blocked the entrance while they were protesting.
Yeah, you're allowed to
People could not
protest,
get
but you
past
can't.
them.
Yeah,
And I'm
you're-
sure
yeah,
that,
you're
and you know
not
what?
allowed-
I'm sure that was explained to them like a lot, and they chose not to move for a purpose, for a reason to be on TV.
Skittles, Cthulhu is not in a different plane of existence. He sleeps in the sunken city of Rulliet.
His origin is a different plane of existence, like every other eldritch deity or eldritch horror.
Well,
He
most of
is
them have to come from different planets.
Cthulhu is still the weakest.
No, he's not. He's like the great old one.
No. As a thought is more of a great is yeah. I'm pretty sure Azathoth is the one who is the great old one. Cthulhu is a great old one, but he's nowhere near one of the most. He's nowhere near one of the more powerful ones.
Okay, Batman. I have
Yep.
to say that mid-sentence of this paragraph you sent me, this chick's vocal range is higher than Mariah Carey. What the fuck?
Oh, Minnie Riperton. She was very good.
Yeah,
Mariah
exactly.
Carey was very good back in her.
Just sing it then.
No. Minnie Riperton could blasted Mariah Carey off stage.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this melodically because there is no way I can figure out how to sing this, Batman.
Well,
What song is it? May I ask?
Why don't you just sing it then? I didn't know the fucking song script accepted. I still sung it.
Blind Girl, you've still got to use the altered version that I sent you.
I will do the alternate because Scotty, the vocal range on this chick is impossible for me to do.
Name
It's
her.
fucking
Yep.
impossible.
Name her.
Minnie Riperton.
You don't have to sing it well, do you? You don't have to sing it well.
You just don't understand, Scotty. It'd be like you actually hitting a pitch of the Bee Gees proper. You just don't.
Oh Lord!
It's like
You don't
Mariah
have to-
Carey
you don't have to
doing
hit
her
properly,
like
you can just sing it.
best moments of high pitchedness. It's like fucking Whitney Houston. It's like what the hell is that? Yes,
Like that.
exactly. I'm like, what? How the? So thank you, Batman. Dobbs 17 says Canadian for say loving Scotty is easy because he's beautiful, which is so beautiful. Making love with Scotty is all I want to do. Loving Scotty is more than just a dream come true. This is gay.
Aw.
And everything that I do is out of loving Scotty. La 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 do 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 do.
Aw.
Okay. All right. Well, now that we've had our sweet moment, I need to go throw up everywhere because I need to go vomit everywhere.
I love you too, but I feel like that's not. I feel like you lied about that.
Well, yeah, I would. You know what? I am a money whore, and Batman is pretty cool. And I have to say, this song is really sweet. Just, I'm not a black woman with a good vocal range, so
You heard that here first. Blind girl is a money whore. Cut. Clip.
That's not the first time we've heard that.
That's the first time I've heard it. Damn it.
that's
the
what
first time
Batman
I've
sent
heard
me. And I have to say, it's very cute. But there's no way I could sing that.
You know what? Actually, not to get off topic or anything like that, but if I may ask a philosophical question, can anybody be bought?
Yes, I could
Everybody.
With any amount, imagine any amount of money. Can anybody be bought?
Yep.
Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. If there's a higher
Well,
price,
legally, no, you cannot actually buy somebody.
No,
At
correct.
least in the United States, that was settled back in 1865.
You know what I'm
even early
trying to
for the
ask.
English.
I asked that very improperly. I used improper words. I need to start reading more. Again, what I meant was everybody has a price, I feel like.
oh, they do.
Yep.
I will bend over for $100.
Bullshit! You bend over for Klondike bar, boy.
That too.
Did anyone hear that?
Hear what?
I can be bought the price of a pack of smokes. Just saying. So yeah, I could
But
totally be
if
bought.
this is the case, right? Because how are people in charge now? You add power, and then you add, perhaps some princess or somebody with an ungodly amount of money. And now you guys are telling me that anybody and everybody can be bought. Like, how do we trust the system for something like that not to happen?
You don't, because you can't.
You set up a system where power is divided and hope for the best.
You have to completely oversimplify the system. You have to completely oversimplify the system to keep that from being able to happen. It's not so much about getting the people. It's not so much about getting the people that can or cannot be bought. It's more about not allowing them to have the power to be used for a price.
Yep. Well,
You know what? That's a very good point.
You
Not that much power.
You could
And
argue
and
that.
the thing is, that's precisely what the founding fathers.
Right.
That's precisely the kind of thing they had in mind when they were writing the Constitution. Only a small, limited amount of powers. Because when it comes to the Constitution, the government is given 18 powers. That's it. It's the enumerated powers. Everything else tells them what they can't do.
You could argue that. Yeah, see, you could argue that we're all still slaves, especially if we're working, because, yes, we're getting paid for it, but we're basically we're being paid to sell ourselves into slavery, in a way.
Well,
I will say, I don't hold with that, but
the moment taxes are imposed, the moment taxes are imposed, slavery does exist.
Taxation is theft.
All right, now this sounds a little anarchist on my part, right? Because you guys know I'm not this at all whatsoever. Just kind of play with me a little bit with this, like, sort of train of thought I'm going with.
I'll play with you.
All right. Well, here we go. There's so many of us, and if all of us know that this corruption goes on, why are we just all sitting here letting it happen?
Because they have disarmed us to a point where we cannot stand up against them.
But we outnumber them.
It's also because we have come to rely to a greater or lesser extent on the systems put in place to run our various countries.
That on top of that, most people have been indoctrinated to say this, that, and the strong-armed erosion of rights is normal and is good, and it should be. That's why I personally do not go in. I mean, I grew up outside of DC. There's only one reason I have to go in there, and that's the only time I'll actually ever go in there anymore. Because at this point, when you think about it, DC is nothing but government buildings, and each government building is a shrine in and of it to itself. Look how great the people who impose their will on you are.
Right, the Washington Monument is basically a great phallic symbol to say that the government has shafted you.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, it's the perfect symbolism.
And if I may
symbolism for DC, just a giant government cock that's just there to fuck.
And the neatest little twist about that, Mister, is did you know by law nothing inside the District of Columbia can be taller than the Washington Monument? Period.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
You have stated this before.
Yeah, the government must be
just to wrap up this convo, because I didn't want to take over or anything like that. I'm a huge Voltaire fan, so I do believe in the social contract. We have a social contract with each other, society and the individual. So I will honor that, and I will always follow the law. I just always wonder. I mean, if most of us sit here and we know they're liars and they're corrupt and all this shit is happening and we're just sitting here, and it just can be a little frustrating.
Which is where I'm going to throw my 2 pennies in.
Really, when it boils down to it about why people are allowing this to be done to them, it can actually be boiled down to what's happened already in the last month and what's getting ready to happen again. When you've got a bunch of Democrats sitting around going, we'll give you this, we'll give you this, we'll give you this, free stuff, free stuff, free stuff.
I'm going to throw my 2 pennies in
we
here.
have people completely dependent on the state.
Keep talking for a minute.
I'm going to throw my 2 pennies in here. I kind of decided with my dad on this, and it seems to be a mentality that comes from the military mind. There's no such thing as inalienable human rights. You do not have any rights unless you are prepared to fight for them.
Correct.
You do not deserve any rights unless you're prepared to fight for them. It doesn't matter if you can't fight for them, but as long as you're prepared to fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
As long as people want to take your rights away from you.
Yeah. Because if I can take your rights away from you without you putting up a fight, you don't deserve them.
Exactly. It's like, I can't remember who it was who said this, but he said that the person who will trade security,
Ben Franklin.
Who will trade liberty for security.
The person who will trade liberty for security ends up having neither.
And deserves neither.
Yeah.
I would never.
They will lose both and deserves neither.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I watched actually a really fascinating documentary on that, on how they sort of under the guise of these hackers going into the system, like in the early 90s or whatever, they got all these illegal search warrants and searched a ton of people who first started off doing all these like underground groups because they believed in free internet, like free information, free all this stuff. And those people ended up doing like life in jail and things like that. But it makes me wonder with like the Freedom of Information Act, like, is that like a guise too? Like,
it kind of
where
is.
I'm trying to go with this?
It kind of is, but
there's
here's
no master of gay ops like the government.
Here's the problem with the hacks. Okay, now what started happening more so about the guise of stealing information, the original hackers, when it came to the computers, it was, this guy would sit there and say, okay, I managed to figure out how to get this to happen on a computer. They'd sit there and they were inventing the computer language. They would sit and do the whole thing. Hey, I got figured out how to get this one pixel to do this. and he would share that information. Then somebody said, well, if I can get this pixel to vibrate back and forth like this, it actually turns red. And then somebody says, hey, I figured out how to do this and it turns yellow. And so they sit and shared the information. That's what happened to the big boom in technology. Now, what ended up happening was these big corporations started employing these armies of people to figure out what to do. And once they figured out how to get it to do something, they would not share that information anymore. So the original hackers would sit and break into the systems to get the information to find out how they got the computer to do A, B, and C. And that's what they were fighting.
No, there was this one group. It started with an E. It was in the 90s. There, our law had not caught up yet with what was going on in cyber technology. So basically, this company was hacked, and the FBI gave that company free reign to do whatever they wanted with these people's information because there had never been a precedent before that. And not only that, but the FBI also got the information as well.
But that's what I'm saying. There was actually a precedent before that, but it wasn't they weren't going under electronic law. They had to go under copyright law to go after them.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's what started the whole mess.
Yes.
I know. I know. Explaining
it goes back a ways, but it's interesting how our invasion of privacy online started, and that was one of them.
That's what a lot of it happened, because these people, when they were figuring out how to get a computer to do A, B, and C, they would share the information with each other. Hey, I got it to do this, this, and that. And then all of a sudden, these companies started getting it done, and they weren't sharing it. And that's what they were starting to go into these. What the hackers were actually starting to break into these computers to do.
Oh, hey, Skittles. I've got a little. Yeah, you mentioned the Beastie Boys in the chat there. I saw them at the Donington Monsters of Rock. They didn't last long on stage. You know why?
Why?
They got through a couple of songs and they pissed the crowd off so royally. People were actually picking up empty plastic bottles, peeing in them, and throwing them on stage.
Damn.
Yeah, they were not
like check slabs.
Yeah, she's muted right now.
Oh. Well, when she does. Anyway,
all right, I'll check it now while people aren't bothering me on my cell phones. I'm trying to work something out really quick because we just got a thing where Fawn might be on Friday, and my stepmother's like, perfect, we can see Fawn an extra day this year, woohoo! And then I called Patrick, and Patrick's like, yeah, but that's not your day to have Jack. And I'm like, who cares? His sister's gonna be there, and he's like, no.
What a fucking tool bag! God damn.
And I'm like, Jack hasn't seen his sister in like 3 years. And Pat's like, well, then he's not going to know what he's missing.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's
so
a real
now
nice.
I have Barb going, why don't you come anyways? And I have Fawn's mom going, well, maybe Saturday. But then Barb was like, well, we're going out of town on Saturday. And I'm like, could you just not? And she's like, no. And then I'm like, Pat, could you please do it? So I'm like, I'm doing it. I really didn't want to do this during my stream, but Fawn's mom just randomly went, hey, extra time to see your daughter. You want to take it? I'm like, hells yes. Because, like, most people have this bad perception of adoption that they think, like, it's going to be the most terrible thing in the world. I have to tell you, my experience with adoption, it's fucking amazing. This woman is amazing. So, yeah. Anyways.
I'd hate to say it, but it seems like the worst part of your ex getting shot would be someone has to clean the gun. Sorry.
You probably shouldn't have said that on stream, yeah.
In Minecraft. Aww.
Yes, in Minecraft. Because I did have that in mind.
Scotty donated $6 to say, I've already surrendered my balls to you. May as well get you a pack of smokes while I'm at it. I will also buy you all the coffee, chocolate, stuffed animals, and diamonds you want. Thank you, Scotty.
I never said anything.
I love you, Scotty. You should quit while you're ahead because that was really adorable.
I love you too.
For fuck's sake, Scotty, just shut up and go with that.
You guys
I will choke you through this hangout, Scotty. I will choke you through this fucking hangout if you fuck this up.
Hey, big girl, what's up?
We know who So we know who sent Blind Girl the message now.
Of course. Hey, I got to be wingman for Scotty. Trying to take him out of the goddamn hole he dug himself.
I'll see if I
there's
can.
a little
You're welcome.
There's a little something simple. That's streamlabs.com/pumpkin sugar if you want to buy me a cup of coffee when I stop for dinner.
Hey, Skittles, you know what? That hole will be useful. That hole will be useful. It means they will have to dig one for my coffin.
Okay, so
wait,
that hole will be useful because they will have to dig one for my coffin.
Coffin or casket? Which one do you prefer?
Do what?
Coffin or casket? Which one do you prefer?
It's the same damn thing.
There's no
technically. Casket is what they use nowadays. Coffin is the actual 6-sided
pine box.
Yeah.
Put me in a cardboard box, and so that anyone who has a problem with me can kiss my ass to death.
You know they actually have it.
I don't care.
Actually, hey, mister, I got one for you.
What?
Go to Walmart.com and search coffin. Or search casket.
Doing so right now.
All right, so on my Facebook newsfeed a year ago, before I knew who Tucker Carlson was, I shared something where he was talking about Thabies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you remember the Thabies?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
That was a year ago, and the comments I got from some of my American friends were: A, Tucker Carlson lies and is an asshole, and B, nobody is ever going to buy into this. So I'm going to play it because it was a year ago, so I shouldn't get copyright struck for it. But just think back.
Is it fair use?
No, it's just Tucker Carlson on Facebook. It was a year ago. I don't even care if I get copyright struck because I'm not monetized, whatever. But it just shows my comments were this is retarded. Nobody's ever going to do this. This is dumb. Nobody does this. This is dumb. Gay rights is not going to lead to this, blah, blah, blah. And here we are a year later and bees are everywhere. So I figured I would play this just to see where we were warning people a fucking year ago about this retarded shit and nobody listened.
No, Blind Girl. Here, you know why this is a good thing? Blind Girl.
Right now.
Blind Girl, you see, what you get to do is you get to do this.
Trucker
Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right.
Hells yeah.
That
what the hell is that?
All right, so I'm going to play this clip, so try not to talk over it. Hopefully it picks up on my mic because I'm playing it from my cell phone.
I'm going to mute. No worries.
But doesn't this mean if you're going to raise a baby, how would you be able to change your child's diaper? Because the second you change the diaper, of course, you'd no longer be able to pretend that there was a question about whether this was a boy or girl. You would know.
Well, it's not about pretending. The parent definitely knows the gender. It's about not necessarily labeling the baby. It's about allowing the baby to decide what gender that baby wants to be when that baby can decide, which is around 4 years old. So from 0 to 4, the baby will not be labeled. The labeling theory will not apply from 0 to 4 years old. The baby will be a baby, neither a boy nor a girl. Whatever gender that baby chooses to
what other profound life decisions do we think people ought to be making at the age of 4? Are there any others?
Well,
whether to get a tattoo, whether to get married, enlisting in the military, voting, drinking vodka, smoking Marlboro Reds. Is there anything else that we think 4-year-olds are ready to decide?
This is actually a profound life decision. I mean, biologically, there's nothing really going on from 0 to 4 in that area that affects a person's life. Biologically, the experts say that boys and girls, all genders are alike. The boy's brain, the male brain might be a little larger. The female's language might be a little bit more advanced.
Okay. No sexism on my show. Hold on. We'll slow down. No, here you're out there like boys' brains are larger. And I just want to say that kind of toxic masculinity has no place in this program. Thank you very much.
But that's all
But no, look, the bottom line is, all they can think of, like, difference in brain size, difference in genitalia, difference in bone structure. Just minor things like just minor things like that. Not perhaps, like, factually. So those are not minor things. Those are definitive things.
Minor.
So, like, why would you not tell your kids about that? At some point they're going to drop trow and look down and say, wait, we look different. You're going to be like, no, you don't. You're exactly the same.
And
that's lying, isn't it?
That's when the child, they say, is around 4 years old. So around 0 to 4, we're not going to say to a little female, a girl that you're a little princess, or boy, you're such a tiger. The labels are gone. You're not going to put that outside influence on a child. You're just going to be neutral. Everything's going to be neutral.
The outside influence of biological reality.
Not
so would
reality,
you do this with anything
perception.
else? But could we decide that we're not going to acknowledge temperature or weather or traffic? And you could just say, you know what? I don't think it's raining outside. Or you can decide whether it's raining outside. I mean, the weatherman says it is, that there's snow on the ground. Or the weather, you know what I mean? The weatherman says that it's 15 degrees out. But I'm going to, you know what I mean? Just kind of make up my own reality.
The parents who are really leading this
we acknowledge
movement,
biology and nature as real, right?
But the biology, the parents who came out with this, who came out in the New York Times and started this baby awareness, this gender neutral awareness for babies, basically said, why should people be so obsessed if your baby is going to be a boy or a girl? Who cares about that area? It's actually a little human. We are bringing a little human into the world.
So, you notice how the... you know how the hormone replacements where there's 6-year-olds taking them down, they're saying we didn't tell them to be trans. You hear how they go 0 to 4 years old is where we're going to start this. And then now we have a bunch of 5 and 6-year-olds going on trans.
But that's their decision. That's the parents' decision. That is not the child's decision whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. Cuban. It's like the saying is. It's like the saying goes. A trans child is like a vegan cat. Everybody knows who made that decision.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, the thing is, they keep saying gender is a social construct. If it's a social construct, why do they need puberty blockers and hormones?
Why are they so fucking obsessed with it?
Yeah. Why is there a gender pay gap? If there is no gender?
Pumpkin.
Exactly.
Yep.
Pumpkin.
Thank you.
Check your stream.
Look at the fucking article I read earlier.
I've been waiting
for really
to actually get it in.
Like, I want to kick babies and punch babies. When
look at the fucking article I read earlier where it said they pretty much just assume they want to transition.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Why? You're just gonna look at your son and be like, "Oh no, I think my son actually wants to be a girl. Look, he pointed at something pink."
Pretty much every child in that clinic that I read about, they pretty much they all just assumed they wanted to transgender even if they didn't.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's because. Sorry.
I think in that case it's because they wanted to keep their funding. That's what I think that case was.
Do you know what's good? The stupid thing is going to be the same people who on this kick when their kid is openly and quite clearly displaying that they're transgender, saying, "No, my son's a cis normal child."
All right, everyone, real quick. Thanks to the Batman for the 5 British pounds.
Oh, Batman.
I swear you two need to get a room. To say, did you ever know that you're my hero, Skittles? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the Skittles beneath my wings.
I am very flattered, Batman. And you know, when it comes to role models, you pick the best one because, as we all know, I'm the greatest man to ever live. If the closest thing to a god this world has ever seen is me, worship me.
No, that's
that would be true in a universe where humanity had never evolved. Skittles.
No, Skittles. The closest thing to a god is Blind Girl. There you go.
Aww. It's so sweet.
Okay, Green.
May I say something that might sound a little out there?
You found the worst Streamlabs ever, and I'm going to sing it.
I dug myself out a hole again. Yes. Yep.
In 10 years.
You probably would if you quit talking about it, Scotty. Carry on, Maria.
I'm sorry. Just real quick. If 10 years, after hearing this, if 10 years, this is how it continues and it is brought into the United States, I see myself and my family and like-minded individuals, maybe hopefully getting some land and living in like some commune, because I am not fucking living
And Capistan.
Fucking bullshit. I am not. I'm really sorry. I'm not.
And Capistan. Yes.
And where? Kazakhstan.
No, and Capistan.
Yeah, I think it wasn't in a fucking town or city in Mexico that was like that, where they tried it and it was like the best city in Mexico or something.
Yeah.
I see.
It was like the cleanest. There was no crime. There was like
there was no crime. It was fucking flourishing. And Capistan is in, and Cap, and anarcho-capitalist.
One of my top 5 things of communities that I'm looking for is like, one of those that don't force like my kids to change their gender or anything like that. That's like one of my top 5. So anywhere that doesn't do that, that's pretty cool. And I'm saying if this happens in 10 years, if this is where we are going, I do not see myself living in this sort of society any longer. I will find another one.
All I know is Batman paid $5 to say, "My boyfriend's back and you're gonna be in trouble. Hey, Lottie, my boyfriend's back. You see him coming, better cut out on the double. Hey, my boyfriend's back. You've been spreading lies that I was untrue. Hey, my boyfriend's back."
Oh my god. To butcher it that badly, Thunder, please tell me you never actually heard that song.
Not really, probably 500 years ago.
But you know what? He did a good job for that.
That he did. Batman, that was the Shangri-Las, right, Batman?
Yeah, I believe so. Or the Rondelles. I think it was the Shangri-Las, though.
You guys are so cute.
And there is an age difference between you and me, Batman. The fact that I just proved myself a boomer to know who it was.
Yeah, using an ad blocker.
Oh, so CNN and is another one of those people who doesn't let you see their site if you use ad block.
Yeah, pretty much.
I already covered this.
Videos when I don't want them to.
Hold on, let me check.
Mister.
Yeah.
Archive.is.
Yeah, I know. Archive.is.
Yeah.
That's
download. Archive everything, then look at the archive.
Yeah,
that's what I remember reading about this story.
That's a new fucking archive. Everything.
Yeah.
Weird. I have ad
It's
block
kind of
on
funny. Just a kid standing there with a sign that says ice cold beer.
Well, actually, he's breaking the law because it's false advertising.
Yeah,
it says root right above it.
It's not because it's not here. It says root right above. I covered this. I covered this earlier this week.
I'm sure there's a law covering this, though.
Goddamn, there's.
Technically, there isn't because it's not false advertising because it says root just smaller than it says ice cold beer.
Go fuck yourself. I'm not white.
It's a good job he's a kid, otherwise he would have gotten beaten up.
He's a smart kid, though.
You do have to praise him for his ingenuity for that one. I guess.
He's a smart kid because he knew ice cold beer would get attention, so he just goes root.
Right.
No, you can't praise him with wearing those sunglasses.
Nah. Not those sunglasses. What are wrong with those?
Hey, blind girl, on you go.
Oh.
Yes.
Read.
What?
I'm saying read.
Oh, okay. I thought you covered it already.
Yeah, you can still read it. I was just.
Yes, but we want to hear you read it.
Okay. Well, I wasn't gonna. I was just gonna put it up there for a haha joke. But sure, we can cover it again. Why not?
You have a sexier voice than Scotty.
And you can.
Opinion.
You do have a really nice voice.
And more importantly, blind girl can actually read.
Okay, so everyone loves a lemonade on a hot summer day, but 11-year-old Seth, that's a cool name, had an even better idea. He decided to set up a stand advertising ice cold beer. This quickly caught the attention of his neighborhood in Utah, so much so that the Brigham City Police Department received 3 reports about the business operation, which I think is funny. Calling the cops on a kid is hilarious, I guess. But when officers arrived on the scene on Tuesday, all they found was a savvy salesman.
Everyone knows Utah doesn't have any alcohol or anything containing caffeine in it. Damn Mormons.
All I know is that this kid is going to be the next Donald Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
This kid is going to be the next Donald Trump.
So the young man was in fact selling ice cold root beer. Quite honestly, once our officers got there, they found it quite ingenious. Well, obviously. I mean, great marketing ploy. After all, the evidence was right in front of them. If you look closely enough, you can see a tiny root written above beer on his sign. Of course, Mom and Dad helped with the marketing campaign, but what better way to get people's attention, said Mom Alexis Parker. Seth said he was happy when the police stopped by his stand and the officers were sure to buy a bottle from him.
Well, you know what? At least they bought the bottle, and he had his parents' permission. So
Interesting how he's so tricky in getting people to buy his root beer, and he's called Seth, which is an ancient Egyptian god, better known as Set.
Parker reports a business has been doing well since the police department shared pictures of Seth on its Facebook page. The root beer stand will stay open until the school year begins, and Seth and his mother are currently thinking up new ways to improve their business model. In fact, they have expansion plans. They hope to bring the stand to towns near Brigham City very soon.
Yeah, that kid's going to go places when he's older, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
I love what Seth did. That is an awesome idea, but unfortunately, it's still not as good as the Girl Scout who set up her cookie stand just outside of a pot dispensary.
Oh, yeah.
that is...
Yeah, Girl Scout cookies right outside the weed dispensary. That is the absolute most brilliant marketing.
Well, in an hour, the little girl who, in an hour that the girl had her stand up, she completely sold out with like 300 and some odd boxes.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised in the least bit.
Product placement is important. That's like when they put like the chocolate next to like the tampons because they just know.
Oh God, the funniest one of those I've ever seen in a store. They actually had a strip of Trojan condoms hanging in front of diapers.
Yeah,
I'm saying
Can you imagine if a bunch of Girl Scouts set up their cookie stand outside of a slimming club? They'd be emptied out in minutes.
Oh God, Batman! Baskin Robbins ice cream has been doing that for years.
It is good. That stuff is good.
Yeah, Baskin Robbins sets up right next to Jenny Craig's Weight Watchers.
No, just
oh my gosh, so does Krispy Kreme.
And I've just had my favorite Married with Children clip triggered in my brain. You know, how dare you say that to my face? I'd say it behind your back, but my car's only got half a tank of gas.
Yes, that is probably the best line ever.
Keep talking for one more minute.
2, 4, 6, 8. Don't make fun of our weight. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna fall through the floor.
Oh, Maria, you're gonna love this one. Near me, there's a Krispy Kreme that's set up in the same shopping center with with a Field and Stream outdoor store and a gym.
Ooh.
So they're getting the fat rednecks and the skinny people at the same time.
Oh no! It's like when and there's the opposite thing that I do remember because up in the attic I saw up in my attic when I cleared out there was like a bunch of like stuff from like Marlboro and Camel and stuff, but apparently advertised with sporting equipment, like with frisbees and hiking backpacks and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, because that's what smokers want. The outdoor activities that require a heavy amounts of cardiovascular exercise.
You know,
way to know where your market is.
They used to market cigarettes as being healthy, you know.
Yeah.
Skittles, you may attest to this. But on all the bases that I've ever been stationed on, all the gyms have been like right next to McDonald's.
Or a Burger King.
Over here, you get like McDonald's sponsoring like football over here. You get like McDonald's that sponsor like football over here.
It makes fat people less ashamed.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, another one's for you, Skittles. Yeah. Hey, say Al, don't you know that's illegal? Yeah, sure, Steve, but so's dressing up a chicken and calling it your wife.
Oh my god, that was just like Al Bundy and Red Foreman, the two the two people I aspire most to be.
Red Foreman was just like my dad. My dad was in the army, in English.
Even though he was Al Bundy, I loved Al Bundy. I thought he was funny. That's why I love my No Ma'am shirt. That's like one of my favorite shirts.
No. One of my favorite ones is "Hey honey, did you miss me?" with every bullet so far.
Poor guy was a shoe freaking salesman. Are you kidding me?
Oh no, Peg! If you want sex, you're gonna have to get the kids to leave, and if you want it to be good, I'm gonna have to leave.
Oh, Al!
No, but then every now and then they throw an episode in where he wants it.
Yes, they do. He's like, "Ooh, Peg." I remember those ones.
Yeah, I think the funniest one I ever saw. He was in the hospital for something, and the doctor was like, "Well, we had to give you, the instructions said to give you a circular incision, but we accidentally gave you a circumcision." So he had to wait like that. At the end of like 2 weeks after he was healing from that, he just walked in, pointed to Peg, and pointed out upstairs.
I like the one where I was having his barbecue. Yeah, his Labor Day barbecue, I think it was. They accidentally put Marcy's mother's ashes in the barbecue and start passing it around, and everybody's being sick, and there's Steve like just munching away and grinning.
Nice.
Whose dog is that?
Well, if you watch Married with Children,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
One thing you notice with Married with Children, Al wasn't an idiot. He was just extremely unlucky.
He was extremely unhappy too with his life. Just unhappy. I mean, shit. And you know what's really funny? That show wouldn't be able to be made today. We would have.
Hell no, that show would never be made today.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, the best thing about Al Bundy is he hated his life, he hated his family, but then he did the responsible thing. Because if anybody ever bothered his wife, his kids, he would show up and whoop the shit out of them.
God, every time Kelly had a boy home.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That one, every time Kelly had a boyfriend home.
Oh my God, those boyfriends.
And that one, yeah, this is my dad. Yeah, hey, mister, but we're just going up to Kelly's room. Yeah, hey, you haven't been introduced around the house. Here's the banister. Whack. Here's the wall. Whack. Oh, look, here's another wall. Whack. Now here's the door. Smack.
Oh, let me open it for you. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Fucking legends.
I love blackmail.
Then I still remember an episode where it was Marcy and Jefferson were actually next door, and the camera was in there on just those two fighting, and Darcy they're arguing about something. Marcy says, well, what about this? And she rips her shirt off, and she's standing there in like a Teddy one of those Teddy shirts. Mm-hmm. You hear Al scream, "I'm blind!"
I remember that one. Yes.
And they go back to an argument a few minutes later. Jefferson yanks off his shirt. Then you hear Peggy yell, "Now I'm blind!"
If I may say something, I have a feeling that South Park is going to sort of separate itself from Comedy Central within these next 5 years.
You blame it.
I think so, because I think Comedy Central is changing a lot.
Well,
I mean, if you think about it, South Park's really the only one that can say what they really want on there. Honestly,
South Park's like the only show that's popular on that fucking channel, though, isn't it?
Well, the problem is after the Obama and the Bush administration, there's people getting their fucking news from Comedy Central now.
Yeah.
How do you do
fucking Steve, fucking Colbert and Trevor Noah and shit. People actually consider them news sources.
How do you do that?
It amazes me that Seth MacFarlane can actually find work with, because he doesn't do political correctness shit, does he?
Yeah, no. It's like he openly admits that he is a rabid liberal, but he is completely for free speech.
I would say
that's why it's because it's like his show showed that, because he was canceled 3 times.
Yeah, I would say he's what we classify as a classical liberal, not a modern liberal, which is actually just a leftist in disguise.
I don't know these new terms anymore.
He's a leftist. He's not a far leftist as well.
Yeah, he is he's more than just a liberal. He is a leftist, but he's not completely insane. He just has some dumb ideas and stuff, which is why Brian has become so insufferable. But
I think one of the funniest things when I think of Seth MacFarlane, the funniest thing that comes to my mind is where Kelly and her boyfriend are in their Kelly's cabin and having an argument, and then you see Ed nudging forward in the shuttle to spy on them. You've never watched the Orville, have you?
No.
You sad little man.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but you have to watch the Orville.
The Orville? I will add that to the watch list.
Imagine Galaxy Quest, right? Only it's not people in a show.
What the worst part about the Orville is more like classics or older Star Trek than fucking Star Trek is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's becoming less of a loving parody and more of a decent show.
Yeah.
It pulls in. Yeah. When it aired, it just took more than half of the people who hate watching Discovery.
Yeah.
I'm back, by the way.
Hello, Wikipedia snippet.
I think one of the awesome things about the Orville is like how they'll sit and kind of.
I'll be right back.
All right. I mean, you got Seth MacFarlane, very liberal, but then they do a show where they kind of backhandedly insult the Muslims.
I love backhandedly insulting Muslims. It's fun.
I love to assault Muslims with the back of my hand. Wait, what?
I like to disavow things. Look at this. You fucking bunch of racists.
I'm not racist. I'll assault anyone that's stupid with the back of my hand.
Islam is not a race. It's a culture.
So are Mormons.
Honestly, so is Mexicans, but.
Alright, if I close this window, then I have room to open this window. I have something cool that I just posted on my Facebook that I'm going to show everybody. Apparently, it's not a toilet eating a snake.
What?
You're fucking fuck you.
What?
I want my $2 back.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, well, I haven't shared it yet.
I want my $2 back for that.
Aww. I just, yeah. Okay, good. This is the picture. All right. I got this.
Oh, wait. Speaking of getting money back, Batman, basically what's going to happen with that Streamlabs is I'm probably going to give it to someone else to make them sing.
Uh-oh.
That looks like a snake eating a crocodile.
That would be a python eating a crocodile.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Hey, python eating a crocodile.
Awesome.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit! Oh, that's
a snake
That
eating a
is a
handbag.
decent sized crocodile.
Yeah, no shit. That is fucking.
Now imagine how big the snake is.
Yep. Oh, imagine
I
how
did
many
this
days.
on.
Hey, a snake like that, it'll only eat like once a month, though.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That-
You would be eating a whole fucking
Well, yeah, because it eats crocodiles or alligators or whatever that was.
Well, you know what? When it boils down to that particular snake, I mean, imagine if his prey there was still alive. You know, there's the snake with it completely, completely eaten. The legs are sticking out like some cartoon thing. Every now and then the crocodile would try to run, and the snake would be like, "I have legs!"
Yeah, can you imagine
Fuck you, Darwin.
Can you imagine if fat acceptance infected the snake community? You'd have snakes like that. There wouldn't be snakes anymore. There'd be balls with legs.
Yep, as you can see, the croc's body is still fully intact inside of the goddamn snake.
And it's probably still struggling at that point.
Damn nature, you scary.
Look, how big is that fucking
The
snake?
python-
It's huge.
The python was quoted as saying, "Crikey!"
Oh god.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Well, that head is got to be a good 10 inches long. I'm going to guess.
God.
A snake can swallow a crocodile. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Well, they can they can unhinge their jaw.
Look, it's all about loosening the vocal cords and your throat. Come on, everybody knows that.
Come on,
Where's
mister,
my
that needs a
where's
ding.
my ding? Thank you.
so after watching a video of a swimming tarantula and seeing photos of a spider eating a possum, I officially became afraid of all creatures with more than 4 legs. That is until recently when new images of an animal with no legs appeared on the internet and made the aforementioned arachnids seem like child's play. This would be a python eating a goddamn crocodile. Let's see. In the pictures captured by a photographer, I guess, in Queensland, Australia.
Of course it's Australia. Of course it's
I
Australia.
love them.
Yeah, the question
Kayak is
would be,
not a kayaker is someone who goes kayaking.
the question there, which are you more afraid of, snakes or spiders?
Neither.
My answer
I
is
didn't realize
neither.
Siri said kayaker. So
I've been more afraid of
My
snakes
answer
than spiders.
My answer is neither. What terrifies me is chimpanzees with sniper rifles.
Oh, those too.
Okay, yeah, those are
So,
terrible.
in Australia,
Aussie Tom, if you are still in the chat, you answer for your country for this.
Yeah, Batman, the racist
answer
made
for
there, but I'm
this.
not going to make it.
the snake, which is
What?
the second largest in the country, FYI, is literally swallowing a croc whole. To put this in perspective for you, this species of crocodile can grow up to 9 feet long and weigh up to
Fucking
220
hell.
pounds. And the
Nice.
python had no trouble eating it in one bite.
I
Here, the
missed,
python has already swallowed about half of its.
I missed what you said, Scotty. People were talking.
I'm saying there was a racist joke to be made about the thing that you just said there.
Ah.
I'm not going to make it though.
Yeah, it's just fucking.
Hey, Skittles.
What?
Do you like animals?
Well,
No, that's not a loaded question.
I'm not answering this because it's another fucking loaded question.
No. Just honestly.
No. Fool me once, shame on you. You don't fool me twice.
I've fooled you 5 or 6 times in this just tonight.
Well, you know what? Well,
to be fair,
to who won't get fooled again. And Tom, you have to answer for why your country has pythons that can eat 9 foot long crocodiles.
aren't there African countries and South American country or wherever
Yep.
the hell that snake is?
Anaconda,
swallows,
South America.
Yep.
yeah, it
anacondas.
swallows people whole.
Mhm.
It's most of the time it's drunk people that are taking a nap on the side of the road.
Well, and also to be fair, swallowing a person whole, it probably would be nothing compared to swallowing a fucking crocodile whole.
You don't know how big. You don't know the scale there. That might be in a small crocodile.
And then the snake says, "For my next trick, wait
Well,
until
fucking
mañana.
crocodile.
What do you want? What do you want? Shoes or a bag?"
Both.
Yeah, make me a pair of boots out of it.
Oh, seriously, I'm asking on this question there, Skittles. Yeah, do you like animals?
Sure.
Well, why don't you give the monkey its face back?
I hope you get dick cancer. I hope you get dick cancer, Batman.
All I know is I'm fine with spiders and snakes. There's only one critter that I will nope out on.
Love me.
Sorry.
Well,
that is a centipede. Fuck those things. They're creepy.
Skittles, I hope you get ovarian cancer.
I don't have ovaries, so that wouldn't be.
Yeah, you
have them removed, did you?
I hope you and Batman just meet up and like fall in love because you'd make a good couple. Yes, you argue as much as being blind girl do.
Okay.
No, so with us it's domestic.
Good one.
With us it's just banter. With you two it's a domestic.
You know what? With y'all arguing like this, all I gotta say is, what the fuck? I mean, y'all making it sound like my wife and I have the bad relationship. We don't argue.
Yeah, when you stop arguing in a relationship, that's a sign of trouble.
Wait,
we never really did argue.
According to Wikipedia snippet, Florida has both alligators and crocodiles. Fucking hell.
The only reason, no, alligators. Okay,
Florida also has mosquitoes.
Florida would not have pythons.
No, Wiki, you're wrong. Florida is not America's dick; it's America's dildo.
Okay, so I tried to share this, but apparently ads just riddled the fuck out of it. But I don't know if this is an exaggeration or not, but apparently the biggest bee in the world, presumed extinct, is found alive for the first time in 38 years.
The biggest what?
The biggest what?
The biggest bee.
Bee.
As in buzz.
Yeah.
Holy
2.5
shit. How big is it?
Span.
Oh, hell to the no.
Wait, how big was the
The Wallace's giant bee is known as the largest bee on Earth, but for decades, experts had feared it had gone extinct. Apparently not.
Why would we be fearing it when it had gone extinct?
Right? The infamous, they call it Wallace's bee, hadn't been seen in the wild since 1981. It's named after American researcher Alfred Russel Wallace, who discovered the massive species in Indonesia. According to the search for lost species, the Wallace's giant bee was the second species in its list of the top 25 most wanted species to be found, because I guess bees and stuff. In January 2019, a group of researchers from the Global Wildlife Conservation set out to find the elusive bee, and I guess they fucking found it.
Oh, they found it.
So give it about a month, and you're gonna see a video on YouTube of some dipshit who found it just to slap it around and get it to sting them.
Probably. I'll see if I can share the picture without it going apeshit.
Yep, that's the fella. That's a big bee.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I think I might be able to do a better one than you've got.
That is a big.
That's a big motherfucker.
Fucking hell.
Hold on, you want a better picture without anything in the way? There you go.
Oh, hell to the no.
Go.
Oh, hell
no to the no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no.
Most of the time with bees, you just have to stay clear of them, but holy crap, that thing's huge.
Yeah.
Kill it.
I think you put your windows out.
Kill it.
Right.
Kill it. I want it dead. I want it extinct.
No, because if you don't have bees, then we go extinct.
I don't have a problem with
what flower does that pollinate? Holy crap!
I don't have a problem.
Most bees,
bee.
You know, most bees when they smell smoke, they get really docile. This little fucker probably looks at you like, "Yo, man, can you get one of those?"
Yeah.
You got a light.
Yeah.
Right? You get a light.
So apparently, okay, there's this article that floated by that said people that wear ripped jeans in the summer are regretting it. I feel like this will be a funny photo that I don't know what's in it. I hope it's not porn.
I'm betting sunburn.
I think I kind of.
Oh, yep,
Apparently, like this.
Spotty sunburns.
Yeah.
And that's why you never wear Crocs in the summer.
With socks.
Well, my son wears Crocs, but that's because splash pad, you know.
Well, you're also
a girl one time. She and I met up.
You don't burn.
I knew a girl. She and I met up one time somewhere to go swimming when we were much younger. She showed up, and her entire chest, her torso. She showed up wearing a bikini, but then her chest, her stomach, her chest, stomach, sides, and part of her back were checkerboarded, or just polka dots all over the place. I asked her what the hell happened. She said the day before she was wearing a big one-piece bathing suit that had a bunch of holes in it. So now she looks like a. So now she looks like a damn cheetah.
I was a lifeguard for 3 years, so I had a lifeguard tan for a while during the summers.
This is why I don't wear a shirt while mowing the lawn. I don't have to deal with a spotty tan.
Same. Now it's just my tan line is just I have like the glasses and sunglasses tan line, and the baseball hat tan line. So it's just like from here, it's like from like my temples down is all done, except for like one little strip right above my ears where my glasses are. But those are always covered, so I'm not really worried about it.
Now, Maria and Mister, tell you this one. When it comes to funny tans like that, if you ever see a truck driver in real life, have him hold his forearms together. You'll notice his left arm is usually a lot more tan than his right.
Because of the window.
Skills, Streamlabs.
What? Oh, God.
And after that, I have a creepy article that just makes me cringe.
All right. I love it.
I don't know if this is a song, but I'm just going to read this out. Thank you to Green Thunder for $1, who says, I'm gay, I'm really gay, I'm super duper gay, I'm gayer than a rainbow. I'm gayer than I'll say. I'm gay. I'm really gay. I'm truly very gay. You call me, I'm gay, and I like it that way.
I wish I'd had my soundboard up. I really do. I wish I had my soundboard up there.
What that?
So, doctors claim that the brain is still active after death, and they're saying that people may actually know they're dead.
Yeah, you have like 10 minutes of brain activity after you die.
Actually, it's as long as 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew that it was like 10 minutes, but
if you die in shock, your brain can be actually active for up to 30 minutes because of the shock.
So the wild part is, what the hell are you thinking? Well, shit.
Shit! I'm dead. I'm dead. Arg.
Actually, isn't it theorized that that's like the period of time where you have on like the DMT trip and where it's like the whole life flashes before your eyes thing?
That's the thing. Like your brain has like this way of like protecting you when you're in shock or something like that. So I'm sure that there are a lot of chemicals that are released to make you at least feel comfortable. Like you were saying, like the DMT thing, or like the seeing the light, or feeling the warm feelings. You know,
the light flashing before your eyes thing.
Hi, Chadwick.
Hello, Chadwick.
Chadwick.
You know when you have the. When you're like unconscious and you're having these hallucinatory dreams while you're unconscious, or even just sleep. Time, your reference of time has no meaning there. You could actually live an entire life in the course of a few minutes of REM sleep. So consider that when you're dead and your brain's still active, you could go through an entire bloody lifetime before you actually.
Sometimes we could all be dead, but that means we could all be dead.
No, there was one time, I don't even remember like what ungodly combination of alcohol I had that night, but it was like I was like dead unconscious. I literally thought that it's like in my dream I went through like 2 weeks of my life, like what I would normally be doing in a week. And over that course of that 2 weeks, I had no idea that it was not actually happening until I woke up.
Woke up and then check the time. You're like, fucking hell. Is it still
God damn it! That means I have to do that all over again.
Yep.
See, I'd kind of like to think that if my brain was still active after I died, I would like to be sitting there thinking, "Wow, it's dark. It's really dark."
I think actually the worst experience I had, I'd done a couple of joints, gone to bed, and I had this dream. I was in this harem, like an Arabian Nights type harem, surrounded by all these beautiful women. Do you know what made it? Do you know what made it a nightmare?
They're all dicks.
I was one of the eunuchs.
Ouch.
Yeah.
No.
Enough. Well, everyone either
version of hell right there.
Yeah. Actually, fuck pressing F. Everyone press Y to shame Batman.
I can't. You're
Oh, boy.
Yeah, she decided to fall asleep on the chair beside me, and then I gave her a big pat over her belly, and I'm like, "Damn, you are getting fat."
I told you.
Middle-age? Is that a beard gut? Is that midlife crisis gut right there?
No, no, blind girl. I have a beer gut. She's just fat.
Check her for extra heartbeats. I'll shut her up.
Yeah, probably died by the smell of her fart.
Yeah, Wiki, I already said it was a nightmare.
So how are you doing, Chadwick?
Oh, I'm not bad. One more week in fucking Ohio, and then I'm done with this goddamn state.
Hell
Are y'all getting all that nice, happy, fun rain over there? Or did you?
Ohio.
Oh, it's pouring right now. I'm surprised you can't hear it.
Hey, Chadwick, it could be worse. You could be in Minnesota.
That is true.
Yeah. I'll pass on that state, too.
Yeah, you'd have to
There's a lot of good fishing, though.
Or it could, remember, it could always even be worse than Michigan. Or wherever you. Oh no, Minnesota. Not Michigan. Minnesota. They both. No. They both start with an M.
Right.
It could be. You could be in California. So Chadwick, always be thankful for that.
Now, Chadwick, you really ought to.
Minnesota, nice.
Chadwick, you really ought to go back to Michigan now. So you can go home. But now, after saying that, I better not see you on fucking Instagram tomorrow or live or something saying, "He told me to go back where I came from."
Motherfucker.
No,
I couldn't be blamed for that because I forgot.
We called it yesterday. We said that was a hoax. We totally called it yesterday.
Yeah, Also, I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
So it turns out it was a hoax then.
Wait, what happened?
So it was a hoax.
Yes, it was a hoax. There's actually video cam footage of him and her and the exchange.
Yeah.
I've been living a real life lately. I'm totally lost.
Imagine my shock that was a hoax.
My biggest thing for her to be a hoax is the fact that she's sitting there swearing. She's sitting there. I'm 9 months pregnant. I'm 9 months pregnant. Congratulations, you just admitted your hormones are going absolutely fucking haywire, which means your brain's not quite that right, and you're over emotional about everything.
Which means that by definition you would not be considered a reasonable person.
Wait,
no, because that kind of stuff it's based off of what would a reasonable person.
Wait, as a father of three, don't ever tell a pregnant woman that.
Pumpkin, you were on about Skittles there, weren't you?
Do what now?
You were on about Skittles there, weren't you? Yeah.
No, I was on about a 9 month pregnant woman.
Same difference.
I imagine that didn't end very well for you, Chadwick.
No, you don't say that to pregnant women.
You don't say anything to pregnant women except, "Yes, honey, what can I do to make you feel better?"
The best thing to say to a pregnant woman is, "I'll be over there."
When it boils down to it, it's a 9 month pregnant black woman who is very activist-y, very left wing, looking for something to get angry about. So once it actually happens, the hormones kick in, the emotions go up to that scale of emotions go up to 12, and off you go.
So interesting was I was 7.5 months pregnant with my son. And I suddenly got this fixation on KFC macaroni salad. I don't even like it, but I really needed it. And Stupid looks at me and goes, "No, you don't." And I'm like, "Just go get me a macaroni salad." And he's like, "But you don't need it. It's an illusion from pregnancy." I locked him out.
What I love is the
women are fucking women.
What
I
I love
pushed
is
him out the door and locked him out of his own condo.
what I love
I'm
is
just saying, if someone told me no about macaroni salad, I would do the same fucking thing.
what I love is the pregnant vegan women. You always hear about they get pregnant and all that can crave is meat.
Yeah.
But
I don't
my
know
wife
why.
couldn't do that.
I needed the macaroni salad. I was like, seriously, I was crying and throwing shit, which is not my style at all. I was just crying and throwing shit and hyperventilating. And he's like, "Dude, it's just the illusion of pregnancy. You don't
It's
really
not an
actually
illusion.
need it."
It's
Right?
not an
It's
illusion.
not.
And so
It's
I
not an
just
illusion.
grabbed him and threw him in the hallway, threw his shoes out the window and his car keys, and I locked the door. And I'm like, "You're not getting back in without a salad." And he's like, "I think this is domestic abuse." And I'm like, "Go get the salad."
It was domestic abuse technically.
I was craving a Chipotle burrito so badly, and we didn't have one here at the time, that I drove 2 hours to Richmond just to get one when I was 7 months pregnant because I wanted one so badly.
There's another thing that makes me laugh about pregnancy. It's according to your mother, it happened to me dad. Sympathetic pregnancy. She didn't have any of the symptoms my dad did. He was a newly minted sergeant when my mother was carrying me, right? And apparently, what my mother said that my dad told her, because he was chatty during that period, so he told her everything like a woman would. He'd been drilling these raw recruits, right? And he was shouting at them because of something, and it was this particular recruit, and he said to my mum said that he told her that all of a sudden he just burst into tears for no reason whatsoever. And he had to go off the parade ground while his corporal took over for him.
I've actually heard of men lactating like sympathetically.
Yeah, that happens.
Am I incorrect? Somebody has heard of this here.
It's ridiculously rare, but it happens.
And I've also heard men can apparently get like postnatal depression and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the whole lactating thing, but I can speak from experience. If the guy's sitting there holding the baby, that baby will go for it.
Oh yeah. No, you just given me that
happened to my brother-in-law
from Family Guy.
The Family Guy, and then he takes out like the chest pube out of his mouth, and he's like,
Well, the wild part about that is I'm sitting on the phone with somebody. Then all of a sudden, I'm sitting there hollering, "Little boy, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but that well don't have no water in it. This well's dry, boy."
My son tried doing that to my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Hell, they'll do it with thumbs as well.
So cool.
I still thought it was wild. They were always talking about swaddling the kid is good for up to 6 months. My boy wanted to be swaddled for like 2 days, and that was it. You try to swaddle his little ass after that, forget it.
What are you talking about?
Hmm?
I said, I still want to be swaddled. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but my little boy, he dealt with the swaddling for 2 days until he got used to the outside air temperature. And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Never do that again.
Apparently, I get swaddled, and it leave me in the cot. Come back, and the swaddling was all over the place.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
See, I can see Maria doing something like, "I no longer wish to adult. I shall be wrapped up in my blanket. From now on, I shall be known as a furry burrito. Thank you."
No, you know what I used to do in Cuba? Every time we had nap time, we all slept in the same room on these cots, right? But I was like this chatty Cathy. I mean, God, not me, but I was very, very talkative as a kid. And I used to get in a lot of trouble. They were very mean to me, the teachers, about it. So one day I pretended to be asleep. And these bitches come up to me and have the nerve to open my eyelid to make sure I was asleep. So I opened my eyes and I'm like, what? And they're like, see, I told you she was faking, blah, 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 blah. Like, nap time was just not for me as a kid.
I can remember when we were in Germany. I was in nursery at the time, but they had this really brilliant fort with toy soldiers and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was there for kids who were upset. So you couldn't play. You had to do lessons. But if you started crying, they'd put you over in the corner. You could play with the toys like the fort. So I figured this out quickly, and whenever I felt bored with the lessons, I'd just start bursting into tears, and they'd let us play with the fort. It was brilliant until they figured out what I was doing.
Nice. So, blind girl, next story.
Yeah, I could totally do that. This one isn't as funny, but apparently, daughter stabs mother and then decapitates her in Sydney.
Yeah, that's not very funny.
But it's not as funny at all.
Tom.
Yeah,
choked him.
Tom, answer for this.
I feel like it's probably something the blind girl would find funny, but not anyone else.
Well, hold on. Was it a daughter or was it Tom in a dress?
Probably Tom in a dress.
Yeah.
Chloe, fuck off. It's my food. Yeah, she's just like, oh, you're gonna read stuff? I'm gonna try and eat shit out of your bowl. It's like, no, you're not a dog. You don't want it. You don't want it. But yeah,
I hate when especially if my cat. Every once in a while, my cat will steal a piece of cheese from me and then not eat it. It'll just be over on the floor somewhere.
Oh, my first cat would have eaten it. It even liked pickles.
I hate it when my pets hate their treat and then they go and hide it somewhere and I find it later. It's so annoying.
Do you know?
So why did this girl stab her mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, please tell me. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so what's interesting about this is the headline is she stabbed and decapitated her mother. But then when you go over to the Fox News and you click the right, for the news, it goes, daughter decapitated mother in Australia in front of her 4-year-old grandson.
Oh my fucking God.
Yep.
So a woman in Australia has been arrested on murder charges after she, and I love this, allegedly decapitated her mother Saturday following an argument in front of a 4-year-old grandson, according to police.
I'm pretty sure the 4-year-old didn't do it, and she sure as hell didn't decapitate herself.
Yep. The New South Wales police.
Maybe she had information that would lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
The New South Wales police force said in a news release the incident happened in Sydney just before midnight when authorities were called to a home after reports of an argument between a 25-year-old woman and a 57-year-old mother. While police are trained to respond to all types of situations, there's no getting away from the fact this was a horrific attack. This is up there with one of the most significant, most horrific scenes police have to ever witness. The 25-year-old, identified in Australia media as Jessica Camilleri, was covered in blood when she knocked on her neighbor's door to tell him she killed her mother. Rita Camilleri authorities found the elder's body inside the family home, then had sustained multiple injuries.
Wait, they just found the body? What about the head?
I don't know. The 57-year-old's decapitated head was found laying on a nearby sidewalk.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, at least she didn't put it up on a pike.
Neighbors told
How's she going to put it up on a fish?
Neighbors told news.com.au they rushed to the home after hearing the violent argument, but discovered the 57-year-old's head laying on the sidewalk. While the neighbor did not publicly address the decapitation reports, he said it was a police officer. Sorry, just last name fucked up. The number of knives were used in the he said a number of knives, were used in the actual attack. So she didn't even just use one; she used multiple knives. Like, what the fuck?
Stabbity, stab, stab. No, this one don't work. Stabbity, stab, stab. I don't like the way the one this feels. Stabbity, stab, stab.
A 4-year-old boy who was in the home at the time of the incident sustained a minor head injury and was transported to a children's hospital. Police identified him as the victim's grandson and nephew of the 25-year-old. It wasn't even her kid.
Was she trying to kill the kid as well?
Oh my God, I don't know. Jessica Camilleri appeared in court on Sunday and claimed she couldn't move her fingers properly or wash the blood off after the incident. So she's crazy. She also claimed to be in agony and said she suffered from several mental health issues. She has since been referred for a medical assessment. A police strike force had been formed to investigate the killing, and authorities spent Sunday combing through the neighborhood for any evidence. The detectives are now working meticulously through the information available to us, but it's a very difficult and challenging investigation. It is almost in its very early stages. It is also in its very early stages. As you'd understand, there is still a long way to go in this inquiry. Fucking hell. Yeah.
You know, with like, stuff like this, it makes you wonder if we really are living in like some sort of purgatory or like hell or I don't know, some punishment place.
Yep. It's
Yeah, no, we're not, because when you go to hell, it'll be a damned relief and a bit of a relax.
Yeah.
No, it'll be more relaxed than this. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, hell would be better.
I guess thank the other guy because I'm going to the other place. I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, if there is such a place, such a thing as the afterlife, would you want to go to heaven? I mean,
all the fun people are going to be in hell.
It's not just that. You managed to meet the requirements to get into heaven. There's only going to be you, God, and Jesus there.
No, listen. My spirit is a free spirit, and I will travel wherever I want to go.
If you don't meet the requirements, they'll not let you through those pearly gates.
I'll pass.
I'm gonna pull a Marianne Williamson. My spirit is just
what happens if your spirit's left your body, right, and you're floating along? Yeah, you consider going off your mortal coil, and along comes the Ghostbusters, and you get trapped and put.
No. See, I'll go into a different dimension or a different like planet.
Well, you need a rocket for that. You need a rocket for that.
I need a rocket.
Yeah, to get to a different planet, you need a rocket.
Not in a spirit. You just like snap your fingers.
It would take a hell of a long time to walk to a planet.
Yep. And besides,
not if you're spirit.
Besides, you're still bound to your earthly body.
Not if you're a spirit and your earthly body's dead.
Yeah, but you're still bound with, because if I burned your bones, it would destroy your spirit.
No, not if you're entangled, because if you're entangled, then you come back, then you
maybe
become
in your religion.
Well, that's the way it works. Sorry, that's in the rule book.
But who made the rules?
The whale made the rules.
Yes.
Al-Azim.
Al-Azim. All hail Blue Whale. Cruel be upon his
eye. The all-seeing eye made the rules.
And the all-hearing ear.
Yes.
Well, the big blue whale, that's who made the rules.
Yes. The mighty blue whale.
No, it was the giant spaghetti monster. The flying
heretic, kick him.
Who are you calling a hairy tick?
You.
Oh. Wasn't somebody asking about back shaving or something the other day?
What?
Just kidding.
If you're a dude and shave your body, you turn in your man card.
You shave your pubes.
I do it as a joke. I shave them into an arrow pointing down at my dick. That is an exception to the rule because it's a joke and it's funny.
That's what he's telling us. I have it on good authority. He regularly goes and gets a Brazilian.
I'm just putting it out there. If you shave your balls, they're more than likely to fucking lick them for you. Just say it.
Listen, but guys, you're doing it all wrong now. Remember, I showed you the picture. Now people are getting pube extensions.
What?
So it's like the opposite.
What?
Remember, I showed you the pictures. Go look in Not Safe for Work somewhere.
Any more news?
I don't like that anymore.
I wait.
More news. I'm sorry. More news, please. I'm so
I
sorry.
waited 10 years to start growing pubes. I'm not about to get rid of them.
Yeah.
News? Any more news? No.
Yeah. This will be interesting. Polish shitty. Wow.
Yes, the Polish are kind of shitty. Although I do love their sausages.
Holds first LGBT alphabet people pride parade despite, quote, far-right violence.
Oh, fuck off.
Violence, huh?
Wait, what? Can you repeat that last sentence?
Despite, quote, far-right violence.
Oh, okay.
Fucking far right. Not sure who the fuck they are, but fuck them.
Yep.
Yeah, no, these far-right people would have been, don't you?
The Polish celebrated its first ever Alphabet People Equality March on Saturday, even though Pride Month is gone, but it struck a starkly different tone to the joyous and fucking gay affairs associated with Pride Parade. I'm just stuck that word in there because I'm not going to try to read that fucking whatever. Anyways,
sorry.
Trained by riot police, around 1,000 Pride marchers walked defiantly through the streets of the northeastern city of fucking Polish name, as thousands of nationalist football ultra fans, far-right groups, and others. I love that far-right group and others. Just so you get everybody.
Yeah.
Threw flash bombs, rocks, and glass bottles. The counter-protesters yelled, "God honor the motherland," and I can't read that, "free of perverts." The Pride marchers chanted, "Poland free of fascists." In return, police said about 4,000 people were involved in demonstrations against the march.
I wonder how accurate this is. I wonder how accurate this is.
Poland remembers World War II, okay?
Yeah, the Polish have lived under both. Yeah, the Polish have lived under both the Nazis and the Soviet Union.
They're not fucking around.
Well, they fucking hate both of them with a passion.
Yep.
So
the Hungarians and the Italians,
like,
they're not messing around.
Yeah, so it's like no, they weren't fucking far right fascists. They just don't. They're just sick of all this fag shit being shoved down our throats. And yeah, and also, Poland has a borderline Catholic theocracy. So yeah, the fact that that's not really a thing over there, not really surprising.
But do they throw their gays off roofs to try to teach them how to fly?
No, they really don't.
No, that would be the Muslims.
So paragraph 2.
They take the word term fairy to be literally, apparently.
Paragraph 2.
Not them. They're peaceful.
Second paragraph.
Sure.
Paragraph 2.
There we go. Next trucker. Bags of flour and other objects were thrown out of communist-era housing blocks at the Pride marchers, who were moving along a 3-kilometer route through the city's center. According to name I can't pronounce police spokesman Tomasz Nobody Cares, the violence led to the detention of 20 people, 4 of whom were suspected of committing crimes, including the use of threats and insults.
Insulting
someone's a crime?
Hold on, they were using threats and incels.
Insults.
I prefer my version, it's funnier. Threats and incels.
Incels mostly stay in their basement. How do you use them? They're useless.
Wait, hold on. You mostly stay in your basement.
I'm not in my basement. I'm in the living room. I thought about moving to the basement because it might be cooler down there, but
Your mom would have to yell more if you were in the basement, though. She'd have to open the door.
My back's itchy.
No, I won't be bothered because she won't go down in the basement. She's scared of the basement for whatever reason.
No, but she'll stand at the door and scream at you.
True.
The police kept a protective ring around pride marchers throughout the 3-hour march. The city of 298,000 people is located in the conservative region of I can't fucking pronounce that name. A stronghold for Poland's ruling right-wing Law and Justice Party, known by its acronym PIS. According to anti-racism groups, name I can't pronounce has become a byword for its strong far-right movements. Many of the acts of xenophobic aggression have been committed in... Okay, what does xenophobia has to do with gayophobia?
Just lumping all into one thing. That's what it is.
It's just something else that you can just throw in there, you know.
It's just buzzwords.
Nothing to do with the rainbow.
I hear Lucy Lawless suffers a lot from xenophobia attacks.
When it comes to this article, there's one major thing that I'm sitting here thinking about. It's sitting here talking about how bad this region is for the LGBT and how intolerant they are and how phobic and are they and all that. If the region is so bad, hey, I got an idea. Let's walk right through it. Yeah.
And the reason why they did that was because they were hoping for a reaction exactly like this, so they could play the fucking victim.
Yep.
And they all have the exact same playbook. Do everything we can to antagonize as many people as we can to try to get them to retaliate with us, and then we start filming right when they retaliate, so we can pretend that we're the victims.
And what's the bet in that they actually instigated it all?
Yeah.
Usually, why?
Yep, but the hostile atmosphere did not dampen the mood of a multi-generational group of gay people who described the event as a victory in their fight for more gay stuff.
I'm not sure you can get a multi-generational gay family. How do you pass down gayness? Most of them don't have kids.
You'd be surprised. They actually do.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I'm trying to find this in a joyful way, but this march is also sad for me because I did not think it would be as dangerous as it is.
Even though you call the city a fucking far-right haven, which they hate you, you didn't think it'd be as dangerous as this, you fucking moron.
Yeah. Oh no, that's exactly what they were hoping for. They were hoping that it was going to be even worse. They was hoping that people were going to be like trying to I don't know what Poland's gun laws were like. They're hoping they were going to be shooting at them and shit, trying to mine their route so that they could try to pimp this fucking victim shit.
We are in the middle of an ongoing wave of hateful propaganda, which is fueled by both the state and the Catholic Church.
Well, maybe they should stop it pushing out their hateful propaganda then.
Yep.
Oh, wait, they mean somebody else is doing it. Right, sorry.
Says a co-founder of an alphabet soup organization that nobody can pronounce. Love does not exclude, told some person in a cafe in some place I can't pronounce. According to officials, there were about 32 protests registered for Saturday, the majority in opposition to the gayness.
As is their right.
These include a family picnic at some palace in Poland, organized by Artur Kosicki, the marshal of someplace in Poland, and an outdoor prayer vigil next door at the Roman Catholic Poland Cathedral. The Catholic Archbishop, some guy I can't say his name of, called on fuck Poland and their names. Congratulations to defend Christian values by attending the picnic, adding that the Alphabet Soup March was an initiative foreign to the region. So are all your fucking names. Ultra-nationalist football hooligans. Oh, wow, they used the word hooligans. I love it. I gotta say,
Nice.
ultra-nationalist football hooligans.
Football hooligans is a pretty common term.
Yeah, but it's a funny name. Far-right organizations and others took part in counter-protests across the city. When I think of hooligans, I think of like an old grandpa looking at a bunch of teens going, "You fucking hooligans, get off my lawn!"
My thoughts exactly. Get off my lawn, you fucking
Not a football
hooligans!
team, like you football the hooligans, kicking that ball and running with it and shit,
No,
tackling.
they usually fight each other.
Yeah, whatever.
It's even worse if the members of the medical profession because then you get doctor hooligans.
And this picnic was so great because it had bouncy castles, folk music, and the local army regiment exhibiting its artillery.
How do you make a bouncy castle mobile?
Yeah.
Wasn't it P-Raid?
Yeah, the local army regiment exhibiting its artillery. Hey, pretty girl, come and have a look at my howitzer.
Minutes later, flashbangs were heard in the near distance, set off by far-right groups outside the complex as they attempted to block pride marchers from proceeding any further. The march ended soon after 5 p.m. local time after the police deployed stun grenades and pepper spray to clear far-right protesters. Some pride marchers were seen removing their makeup, hiding their rainbow flags, and wiping off glitter because it was in an attempt to blend in with the pedestrians and leave the city center safely. You can't remove glitter. Sorry, man.
No, there's no removing glitter.
Yeah, maybe dressing like giant flamers and walking around isn't such a great idea.
Also, random internet box is right. Far right means nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you can't remove glitter, but you can remove the shithead who covered you in it from life.
Yep. So many Poles in the country, which I think is funny. That's how they short form the Polish. They call them Poles. Many Poles in the country's urban centers, and they mean Polish, are supportive of the push for more alphabet rights.
Yeah,
and yet they chose a venue where they knew they would be hostile to them.
Yeah, blind girl. I think you should call them by the correct name. It's the LGBTQ MICKEY MOUSE community.
Oh, what was it?
It's all about the approach. They're not trying to approach anybody in a peaceful manner to be like, hey, this is how we are, whatever. They're trying to get in your face and like literally shove it down your throat and like, this is who we are, and you better call me by my fucking pronouns. That's not an option, and all this other stuff.
Didn't think like bad for the homosexuals, gay men and lesbians who just want to live a life.
A normal life and have nothing to do with this garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the people in Poland are like, you know what? We faced fucking Hitler. You rainbow people, you're nothing. You're fucking
They faced both Hitler and Stalin.
Yeah. Yeah. Guess what? It's chilling time, ladies and gents.
Wow, I can't believe time flies so fast.
That's because we're entertaining each other.
I know. It's fun.
Oh, I'm perving on pictures of Lisette Anthony on Google image search. Actually,
all I know is there's a less entertaining podcast that happens on Wednesday. There's the link.
And there's a more entertaining podcast than this that happens 6 days a week.
Do you know which one it is?
Mine.
Mine.
I don't do a podcast 6 days a week.
10 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. EST, 6 days a week, mostly.
Watch.
Yeah, watch it.
No Sunday fun tonight. Got too many projects I have working on. New videos will be out this week. Keep an eye out for it. Sunday Funny will be returning next weekend. I also depending on how much I can get done between now and then, I may or may not be on the Trippy Cast for Social Media Sunday. Stop by for that.
Very cool.
Anybody else?
I got
Next,
nothing.
chill.
I got nothing.
All right, take it away, Sir Trucker.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Pumpkin Trucker, almost daily dash cams. Well, except for this week, where today's dash cam was the last one for a week. I will not be returning to my dash cams until the 29th of July. And as far as my appearance on Scotty's stream or this stream, it will be sporadic, if at all. Won't know until it happens. I don't even know if my cell phone's going to have a signal where we're going. So either way, come check it out. Tomorrow afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern. That's 10 p.m. GMT. Go over to Opinionated Scotsman channel for another episode of Failing to Read the News. Then at 7 p.m. midnight GMT, come on back over here to Blind Trucking. I may be here, I may not. But one thing you'll definitely hear is you will hear Opinionated Scotsman say,
I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
That'll work. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you all next time.
Remember what the Dormouse said. Feed your head.
Oh, you're there.
No, remember what the Dormouse said. Oh, fuck this. I'm going back to bed.